We are covering a case presentation today of orthotics that did not help plantar fasciitis.
The case was this 40-year-old man. He's a trail runner, and he hadn't been running for over a year because of this plantar fasciitis. He had gone through 2 or 3 different PT routines. He did a lot of the YouTube stuff, which is how he found us.
You use that fun sock.
Yeah, the sock. So for those of you who don't know the sock, it's this kind of torture device where you put your foot in a sock when you go to bed, and it comes usually up to mid-shin, and it has this strap on the top that keeps your foot in dorsiflexion. And for some people with true plantar fasciitis, like actual fasciitis, inflammation in the fascia, it can help. For a lot of people, it feels like it should help, and then they still have a ton of pain in the morning.
Yeah. So this guy didn't get better with any of that, including the orthotics?
No. Like he did sock, foot interventions. He was doing a ton of mobility. His big toe mobility, which we've talked about before, was really good, actually. And he just wasn't getting better. Custom orthotics after store-bought orthotics.
Super feeds.
Yep, yeah. He had the green super feets, which a lot of us have experience with. I bought them like 10 years ago. Used them for like a month.
Well, what did you, did he respond to what you gave him? What did you give him?
Yeah, so we did a full exam, and at the beginning of the exam, it looked like plantar fasciitis, right? Press on the heel and it hurts, and first thing in the morning it hurts, the whole gambit. And we actually ended up going towards low back interventions. In his case, he had a low back disc problem that was causing a nerve root irritation. So that nerve root sent pain down into the foot.
Did he have all that classic back of calf, back of leg stuff too?
He didn't have back of leg, but I found this to be common is for plantar fasciitis that is not in the exact same spot every time, like the size of a dime, and it moves either down in the foot or up towards the Achilles. It's like a red flag for it. So he was that. He had pain anywhere from the back of the Achilles down to heel and up to ball of the foot.
You know, I feel like I've met a lot of people who say they have plantar fasciitis, but people point all these different locations.
Yeah.
So when you have plantar fasciitis, which is not going to be something that you're talking about, where would it be?
Yeah, so true plantar fasciitis is what I call it. So not nerve-mediated. It's usually right, when you touch your ankle or your heel bone, and you start going towards the ball of your foot, you find this ledge that you fall off of. That's where it is, and it feels like you step on a rock every single time. Can you actually feel any pebbles in there when it is real plantar fasciitis, or? Not usually. So some people have a little bone spur in the plantar fascia itself, but usually that's asymptomatic, and they just find it when they do imaging.
Okay. Well, what did you have this guy do?
We did a lot of press-ups, which are, it's a low back intervention. So, Seb, actually, you know how to do press-ups.
Yeah, I've done my fair share of press-ups before.
So press-ups are designed to pump blood in and out of the disc space, and it helps bring the crap out, so all those little inflammatory chemicals and markers. So basically, you just do push-ups with your hips still on the ground, and everything belly button and below is paralyzed, so you're just pumping them out.
So when I'm doing this, what should I be feeling?
Pretty much nothing. Your triceps might get a good burn. First 5 or 10 reps might be a little stiff in the low back. It shouldn't really hurt. But as time goes on, you should feel looser and looser, like you're putting some WD-40 in there. Okay.
When they have that type of plantar fasciitis that's related to the back, do they have back pain too?
Sometimes, but not always. And you can relax on this.
But I kind of
you want to, it feels good. I mean, honestly, it's great for some other stuff too, but no, not always with back pain. So he actually didn't have any back pain. So when we went through this, when I told him the exam results, he was like, there's no way. And then we did that, which has nothing to do with the foot structures itself, and it started resolving. So even though he didn't have back pain, it still did help the foot.
Did he notice it that day? Was it a day later, a week later?
Oh, it was immediate. So we started with 60 of those, and he got a sweet tricep pump because he's got about the upper body strength of me, which is not a lot.
Yeah, we're going to see you do press-ups next,
right? It's going to be great, yeah. But he pumped out 60 of them, same kind of thing where the first 5 felt a little iffy and stiff. And then when he got up, our test was just to walk around on the hard ground in here. And he was I think he said something like 50 or 60% better immediately.
I don't know if you could put a percentage on the amount of people that you would say have this type of plantar fascia pain, or?
I see a lot, and given there's a selection bias here because we mostly see people who have been in pain for a while. I'd say 80–85%. I have had a few true plantar fasciitis cases, but it's pretty obvious because absolutely nothing helps it.
For the things that people do for their standard plantar fascia case, like the peanut butter smears and like those things,
crunches from
yeah.
hell. Yeah.
Do you think anyone ever like shares scrunch towels?
You know, in the athletic training room at UC Davis, we sure did.
Yeah. So would they get better with that type of plantar fasciitis with these still, or are those not helpful in that case?
Like if they had nerve-mediated?
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't help. There's a small chance you'd get a little bit of benefit just because foot strength helps up the chain, but it doesn't, it's like 10–15% maybe.
So I know later we're probably going to do a video on parts of the foot and like diagnosis associated to those locations, and I know you were talking about that's like the possible plantar fasciitis spot. But we were talking about self-test too.
Yeah.
Is there a self-test that someone can do with this to figure out if it's related to this or not?
Yeah, there's a few. One of them that actually seems really simple is a hamstring stretch, which is really a neural tension test, but go on your back, face up.
Okay.
So for you to do it yourself, let both your legs fall flat. And then I want you to hug one hamstring. And actually, come on out. We'll see if you're flexible enough. But keep your legs straight. Bring it up. Try and hug the hamstring. Where do you feel that stretch now? Back of the knee. Okay, so that's a normal test. For folks with low back nerve-mediated stuff, often it is somewhere else other than the knee pit. So it can be knee pit plus areas, or down in the calf, or up in the glute or the back.
Now I feel a little bit actually right here.
Yeah, so that would be abnormal. Some people for plantar fasciitis, quote unquote, specifically get like back of the Achilles here. But if you get it in the foot and it reproduces your pain, that's a very clear sign that it's not true plantar fasciitis. You're not actually doing anything to the foot. You're just stretching that nerve tract and your hamstrings incidentally.
Yeah, I actually feel a little bit more when I cock my foot back here too. I feel like it's almost like it's, I don't want to say it's tingling in the arch of my foot here, but it's like, it almost like someone's putting like a feather over it.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. Often like tingles, feathers, like ants crawling on your skin, even if it's down in the foot. I've heard the hair wrapped around your toe feeling before. All of that's abnormal. The only normal thing is a stretch in the knee pit.
Yeah, so this is basically like a version of a sciatica is what those presenting with, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I know there was a video that we put on recently about sciatica where it's talking about like the types of the quality of pain that people have. And it said like that electrical shooting pain was actually, I think it was under 10% of the people experience that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of times just an ache.
Yes.
Or a sharpness.
And it can be pressure based. So for folks with sciatica, like classic sciatica that goes down from your butt to your knee pit, pressure based would be like you're sitting and you have to adjust a ton. For people with sciatica-esque plantar fasciitis, it's first step in the morning, pressure on the heel when you're walking around on hard ground.
So I think if you guys are looking for more information about plantar fasciitis, we have another video that will pop up at the end of this video. If you're looking for help, we have telehealth options. We're licensed in different states, and we certainly do see people in person as well. You can find our contact below. See you guys next time.